All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to move on to the next topic. And so we're going to talk about this is something that this also affects the community as well, mostly the Black gay community, I would say, in terms of like the Black hip hops versus the circuit hip hops. I do notice like in Atlanta, you have Black circuit. I mean, sorry, Black hip hop, which is more of like hip hop, music, and then you have circuit, which is more of a different type of sound, more housey. And when you try to mix the two groups together, they don't get along very well. And it's a contrast right there. Another thing that I do hear that a lot of the hip hop gays of Atlanta say is that they're really frustrated that they feel like the circuit ones, which is more in California or the West Coast, they say they cater more towards white people, and so they say they cater towards people that don't even want them at their party. I want to see if y'all agree with that. Have y'all seen any issues that y'all seen and I've noticed with any of those parties, or from friends or family members that have heard about that?
Um, I on in two instances I've like seen this. I've seen where I was in Mykonos in like 2019 or 2000, yeah, 2019. I went to Mykonos, and then there was just like it was Black people who are in circuit actually. Like they like we go to the circuit parties. We love house music. Like we go to circuit. There was like a little altercation between the Black circuit gays and like the white circuit gays. I guess like I don't know. They act like this space isn't for us sometimes, and it's just like Black people, we created house music. Like circuit stems from house music. Like this is our space more than anyone else's, you know. So I've seen it there, and I've also heard about like them throwing parties and like kind of like I don't know, like kind of trying to keep it like hush hush so that we don't find out about it. I guess I don't know, but like I've heard about that as well. But
I don't know why, because right after those parties, friends I've heard, they come, oh, this white dude came up to me talking about he wants some BBC. And I'm like, at 3 o'clock in the morning? No. And nobody want to hear that. It's
Now
like,
you
it'd be the same racist ones. I'm like, not this one, the one that said the N-word the other day. It's just weird.
yeah,
And it's just weird. And I'm not processing that. And there's not just that, but the guy that owns Reload, that Alex guy,
mm,
I have nobody cannot convince me that that boy's not a racist. I don't care what nobody says. You cannot convince me of anything. If somebody continues to show you a text message and they continue to show you Instagram posts and they continue to show you things that this boy is putting out over and over about Black people, he don't want them at their parties and this and that. And all they can do is give him a BBC or whatever. My thing is, okay, and then you try to say face in front of people that you're not a racist. I'm just like, okay, eventually, if you keep doing it over and over, eventually people are going to catch on.
right.
I mean, you can't be done forever. And it was not just that, because there was a Black DJ that was in the Los Angeles area, not DJ, but promoter. I think you might know who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I will put his name out there, but I know he's very private. He just wanted to be done and over with. But he was saying that he had issues with Alex. And I'm like, okay, house music that's created by Black people, and y'all don't want Black people in these establishments. It's just like, that doesn't make any sense. That's just stupid. And then I heard Alex got into it with the another Black DJ in Florida over some AKA white Latino, because some of the Latinos now don't want to be Latino no more. They just want to be white. So a white Latino came up to and said, Alex, that the Black DJ was taking business from him or something, and then he tried to harass the guy. I'm just like, what is up with this dude? I mean, like, it's unacceptable. And I said for other Black, and I've heard other Blacks try to defend him, that go over to those little group parties, whatever you want to call it these days, and they go over there, and I'm like, okay, just because he comps you to get in, that doesn't mean he's your friend.
Right.
I mean, he wants you to perform a service, if you know what I mean. And so it's just like I don't know. Maybe it's just the LA crowd. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to process that. Go ahead, Parker.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, I don't know much about that life, this circuit party and stuff like that. I feel like you and Henry probably know more about that than I would. But I will say this: I know Micah from Deviant Events. He and I are friends, and I know that that was the purpose of them establishing Deviant Events because they wanted to have a space where Black queer men could go and it would be that circuit kind of vibe. And because his passion was circuit parties, but there was not a lot of space for that for Black men. And so they created this whole little niche now that, they do parties everywhere. Like every time I look up, it's a party in New York, it's a party in Atlanta, it's a party in Houston, it's a party everywhere. So I do think that, obviously that means that there is a void there.
I see. Now, we'll say this about Deviant. The quality needs to improve. I'm going to be honest with you.
I've never been.
I gotta be real with people. Like, this is the living room. This is us talking about the issues of our community, minority communities, etc. And there has to be a certain level of not just professionalism, but a certain level of entertainment value. And when you go there, you can't just be promoting. When you go to a club, you want to dance. Like me and my homegirl the other day, we went out, we went and partied. They had like a presentation and lights, and the ladies was on the trampoline thing, and they had the little tassels on and stuff. It was a good time. But when you go to Deviant, y'all just promote the dark room. I ain't trying to go in there. So it's just like, okay. I need y'all to promote more dancing. I need y'all to promote more music or something. And that's what I was kind of disappointed in, because people kind of expect, oh, that's what the Blacks are going to do. And I heard that from a few Black people. They kind of like,
Chris, don't you think? I mean, isn't that the whole idea of a circuit party? Isn't circuit parties all about sex and drugs? Isn't that the whole like the vibe of a circuit party?
No,
sex and drugs.
Yeah. No, it's most people I know is
drugs is going on, but like that's not what it's all about. Like I went to a circuit party the other night. I didn't have sex.
Right. But I'm saying, when people hear the word circuit light, neon lights, psychedelics, sex, that's what you're thinking, right? And so I don't feel like, I get where you're trying to compare, and I'm not defending because I've never been. So trust and believe, if I spend my money on something, I'm going to give you my opinion on it. But I have never paid to go to one of their events, so I can't speak on that part. But I'm just saying, in general, you can't compare that to a normal club, right? In LA or any place that's supposed to give you ambiance and experience, because people, it says quite blatantly deviant. Like, so, I think that's really what people are going there for, is because people want to go and, be in the dark room. They want to be in the space where they can do these things and it's not talked about after.
Well, this is the thing. And this is why I tell people, especially with Black clubs, because it's not just this, it's just club. This is stuff called club.
Is Chris, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. It's not there.
Oh, he's like, you're frozen. You're frozen.
Oh,
I'm like, not Chris is exiting out my bubble right now.
You were frozen for a while.
Yeah, not Chris is like, disconnect him right now.
Right.
No, I think it's just the internet here. It's not the best right now because of the winds. Well, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So like, clear example, and this brings me to another club called Club Compound that's in Atlanta. Club Compound, what I didn't like is that, and this is what I also noticed, I went on, being a chameleon, we can go into any place. I think most of us, we can go into any club and we can mesh with anybody. That's what's good about the co-host today. So I can go to a white club and be good. I can go to a Latino club because I can mesh with anybody. I currently do that now. But when Club Compound is in Atlanta, and one thing I noticed is that how they treat the Black people, mostly those Black gays out there. And I remember it was like 2 years ago, they had them out in the cold. Literally the lines were long. It was like, I think it was like 10 degrees outside. Wind was blowing. And they just held the lines, they upped the ticket prices.
So Chris is frozen again. It's even he's having real terrible internet issues. But as he's frozen,
it's still frozen?
Well, you're back, but there's a significant delay.
Oh, I'm telling you, this hotel internet Hilton got to get they crap together. This ain't good. Hilton got to get it together. This is not good. So is it still lagging?
You're good now.
I'm good now? Okay.
Yeah.
So what I was saying is that how I didn't like how they treated the black people out there at Club Compound in terms of having them sit outside. The ticket prices went from like free VIP was originally 40, and then it went up to like $70. And then what I also noticed, because I went on a straight night, and they had the entire club open. Everything was open. The downstairs was open. The outside, all of it was open. When it came to the black people, they put them in this little bitty space and just packed them in. Like they were not good enough to have all the other amenities of the rest of the club. And I told you, I said, why are y'all spending your money on this shit? I said, this will be the last time I come to this one. I said, because the way they treat y'all here, and y'all sitting out here, this is not a good time. Good time trying to make somebody else's dream come true for people that don't even like you. I mean, that don't make any sense to me. So that was the last time I actually went there. But I also noticed, and this is why I was telling people about Pride, because I have discussions with my homegirl, and we were sitting there talking about it. And she said, what do you think about the Pride in Atlanta? I said, well, let me tell you this. I think Henry, I don't know if you've seen the Instagram post, but it was that post of the DJs, and all of them were white. I said, in Atlanta, y'all couldn't find one black DJ of all places, that or DC, you can find one black DJ, all of them were white. I said, I'm not surprised, because if you ever go to Atlanta, you see 10th and Piedmont, you see 10 where all the whites is, and then 10th and Piedmont on the other side where all the blacks is. When they did that parade, they barricaded all the stuff. They have vendors, and everybody's, the top-notch vendors as well. Free stuff barricaded. And what they did was they barricaded all the black people to that little corner, and then all this and the 10th and Piedmont Park, all that down there was all for the white pride. And that's why people say they consider there's usually two prides, a black pride and a white pride out there. And it just really, that's why I tell people, I said, it's time for y'all to start creating your own. Because I said, that's just unacceptable. They quick to play a damn Cardi B. They quick to play a Whitney remix. They quick to play a Nicki Minaj remix. All these black people that they playing records for them to dance to, but y'all don't have a black DJ. I have a problem with that. And that's why I was never a fan of that Reload with Alex. I was just like, you go there, I mean, the couches are nasty. The go inside is hot as hell in there, smoky. People are all toe up and drugged out. People sitting on the couches, smelling. It's cold as heck. The ticket prices are there, and then they're selling you $5 Gatorade. No, that doesn't fly with me. I said, when you pay to go to a club or after hours, you pay for an experience. Brazil, they know how to do an experience. Parts of Mexico, like PV, they know how to give you an experience. I said, it's a big difference. It's just the level of quality and the level of not trying to be overtly racist to the blacks that's in here that you're playing our music in your club for. It's mind-boggling. What do you have to say?
Even in Miami, you get like a better experience at the afters. Like when you go to Miami and you go to Palenque, like first of all, Palenque hires black DJs. It's an after-hour spot, just like Reload, but they hire black DJs. They also give you a production, but it is charging like $10 for Gatorade. So if that's gonna be an issue with you, then you got to get over it, girl. But
it's gonna be an issue.
I love Miami because I feel like compared to Atlanta or even LA, like I feel like Miami is a little bit more inclusive with the diversity when you go out. I never really had an issue. Like when I go to Miami and I go to a circuit party in Miami or I go to any of the clubs in Miami, it's always a mixed crowd and I enjoy it. I always have a good time.
Awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and I know we'll bring this topic up in the future as, everything's opening back up for COVID, minus the monkeypox, the disease. So be careful with that going on out there. That ain't no joke. I've seen the videos. It's not funny. It's not cute. Stay away from that stuff. It's just not a game.